Ladies and gentlemen, can I please have your attention?
I am that dude, Bodkins. Patty to patty. That's ridiculous. No way. There's nobody else out there. He's your guy. Give a big round of applause for the one and only BodkinShow. I'm going to repeat that again, folks. I didn't stutter. Welcome to the Bodkins Show. Hey, good morning, beautiful people. I am that dude, Bodkins, back with you. Still recovering. Still doing a lot better than I was this weekend. But I am back. Speaking of this weekend, I was sick, had the old Rona on vacation. But the boys went ahead and carried out head kicks and haymakers for me. Kenny and Craig, I did chime in there just for a brief minute. But, please check that out. They covered up some fights, and that was this Sunday. So please check that out. I was back online on Monday with Tanner, the Buffoon and Bodkins show. That happened Monday. So we had some great guests. So please check that out as well before we get into this week. This Saturday, Head Kicks and Haymakers will be live, coming to you at 7 a.m. Central Time Zone for our UFC 278 pre-show, headlined by Kamaru Usman, the welterweight champ, versus Leon Edwards. And then we'll have our post-show Sunday at 7 a.m. Central Time Zone as well. So, again, good morning, everybody. So let's get into this week. Also this Sunday night, before I get into this week, special guest on the Bodkin Show will be none other than Dan Dave Harris, founder of the Let's Talk Sports Network. We're going to get into it with Dan, talk about a lot about his background, why he started Let's Talk Sports, how he started it, and how he became a Jets fan from clear across the pond. So, and we'll even talk a little Jets and all that. Speaking of the Jets, as we start into our NFL news, our NFL news, and that's Zach. The only real big news is right now Zach Wilson is hurt. He got hurt. Tore his, they say, light meniscus tear. Did have surgery. They do expect him to be back maybe week 1, week 2. Looks like Joe Flacco is going to take the reins there. There have been reports that Flacco had been outplaying sorry, I got the COVID brain, outplaying Zach Wilson here. And so now it's Flacco's time to shine here. Can he, find that glory that he once had? Remember, this is a guy who won the Super Bowl, it's been over a decade, but, Super Bowl MVP, led the Ravens, to a championship. So, which was Ray Lewis's last year's in the league. But we're getting some comments in. Kenny's chiming in here early. He said, no, he cannot. He probably can't, but I'm just saying they might be better off with Flacco than Zach Wilson. We had Jude Jets on, Buffoon and Bodkins on Monday, so we talked a little bit about that. So make sure you check that out. So we'll just go ahead and keep previewing our NFL series here. The last NFC team division we have is the South. So here it is. This division is pretty weak. We'll go bottom to top here. So the number 4 team is obviously the Atlanta Falcons. I think they're in full rebuild. Somebody tried to tell me they were going to surprise some people. They're not going to surprise anybody. They don't have a great defense. Young weapons is what they do have. Who knows what is going to happen with Mariota, how he can respond as after spending 2 years in Oakland, Las Vegas, and being a backup. So, I like them as the 4. The 3 is the Carolina Panthers. We know, Baker. I think Baker's going to play well. I think he's going to have a chip on his shoulder. I mean, I like their receivers. You look at DJ Moore, Robbie Anderson. Their biggest key will be for uh, for CMC to stay healthy. And then, you look at their defense, uh, they still got, you expect another step from Uter. Their offensive line has improved a little bit. Um, Shaq Lawson, who's coming off the pup, will have to come up off the pup list. Uh, you know, but they're just, I mean, they could win some games. I think they'll be improved better than last year because if as long as Baker is healthy, um, so I like them. And then as the three, and then number two, I like the Saints here as the two. Michael Thomas coming back. How healthy can he be? I mean, I know it's been a while. Still got Marquez Callaway. They drafted Chris Olave. Uh, still have, if it'll be interesting to see what happens with Jameis Winston. They got Andy Dalton as the backup. The Taysom Hill era is over. They have Alvin Kamara. Who knows how long he's going to be suspended for, but they brought back Mark Ingram. Cameron Jordan's still there. Marcus Davenport. That defense is still going to be pretty darn good. Demario Davis. They brought in Tyrann Mathieu. They still have Marshawn Lattimore. That I like the Saints as the two here, and then the number one team. You already know is the Tampa Bay Bucks. As long as Tom Brady's still there, and I know Tom Brady is, missing. They made this deal with Tom Brady when they brought him back. Hey, don't come to training camp. Don't worry about the preseason. Only thing that you got to do is just come back. Now obviously Todd Bowles is the new head coach, but still Mike Evans. They brought in Julio. Chris Godwin will be coming back healthy. They brought in Russell Gage. That offensive line is still stacked. You look at that defense. Like we talked about, still got the GOAT at quarterback, but still got William Golston. Vita Vea is an absolute stud. Shaquille Barrett, Carlton Davis, a third. I expect that they were that secondary that was so good on that Super Bowl run was just banged up last year. But now you hope everybody comes back. Still got Winfield Jr., Sean Murphy Bunting. Like that team's ready to go and ready to play. I like the Bucks at the one. So from top to bottom, Bucks 1, Saints 2, Panthers 3, Falcons 4. So Kenny's got some he's chiming in here. He said Falcons were in some games last year and they shouldn't have been, and they got better. I don't know how much they got better. I'll take Matt Ryan over Marcus Mariota every day of the week. He downgraded at quarterback. They did draft a running back. Mike Davis is gone. Kenny says Falcons aren't any worse than the Saints, Panthers, easily fourth in that division. I think the Panthers. I just think Baker's got something to prove. I actually like the Falcons head coach more than I like Matt Rule. And then he adds, the Saints lost they did lose Sean Payton, so it'll be new regime all together here. So we'll see. Another year in that system, zero evidence Ryan's better than Mariota at this point. Yeah, well, we'll see. We'll find out. But that's just how I'm putting it on paper. And then we talked a little bit about the Zach Wilson. So we'll just stick with the AFC East here in that prediction. Our first AFC breakdown. The Bills easily number one there. I'm not stating that the Bills are going to win the Super Bowl like a lot of people are, but I'm stating that and like I tell you guys each week, as long as everybody's healthy, like if Josh Allen goes out and tears out his ACL first week of the season, then you can't come back like, oh well, you said the Bills were going to win first. Yeah, the key is if healthy, if everybody's healthy, you know what I mean? But I just think that they're going to run away with it. At least the AFC East. Now, it'll be interesting what happens, in the playoffs. But the Bills are just stacked about to, top to bottom. Sorry. Uh, but with you're talking about the the Bills with they have Allen, they have Diggs, they have Davis. They drafted Cook to go along with in that running back room with Devin Singletary. That's who I was thinking of there for a second. That defense should still, added Von Miller to already good defense. I mean, that secondary is really good. Tredavious, they made it what they did last year without Tredavious White. Remember, he was hurt, and he's one of the top, 5-6 corners in the league. So as long as he can come back healthy at some point in the season, they'll get a good boost from him. So yeah, that was I was doing top to bottom to top, but we'll just stick with one. And then number two, man, everybody's jumping on this on the Dolphins train, and I guess the Patriots won somehow imagined to make the playoffs last year, but I just think the Dolphins have done more to improve than what the than what the Patriots have. So I'm going to say Dolphins too. I mean, you look at the weapons that Tua has, and I've talked about this when I talked about the Eagles. Tua and Jalen Hurts have the most pressure on them all season because their team said, "Hey," they put all their chips in the middle and said, "Hey, you young quarterbacks, it's now or never. It's time to prove it." So I look at you look at Jalen Waddle. They have Jalen Waddle. They added Tyreek Hill. That defense will still be improving. New coaching regime. They added Melvin Ingram. Still have the X-Men on the outside as a corner. That team. Jerome Baker's still really good. The Dolphins, uh, they're going to be. A lot of people are saying they're going to make the playoffs. I don't know. I mean, they're going to that. This AFC is so tough to pick which. I mean, where I think the NFC is top heavy, and then you could just, it kind of filters down. Where the AFC, man, you could make a case for a lot of these teams to make the playoffs and even make a deep run. So number three, though, I like the Patriots. Simple fact, I mean, Bill's not going to let them finish dead last. I expect improvement still from, Mac Jones. They went out and spent a lot of money last year. Still have Matthew Judon. Uh, they don't have still have a whole lot of weapons. They did get Devontae Parker. Still got Kendrick Bourne, Nelson Aguilar, Jacoby Myers, but uh, it'll be interesting to see what that team does. I mean, somehow, some way, last year they won 10 games and made the playoffs. Now they got annihilated in that playoff game, but I mean, there was a time in the middle of that season last year where you could have made a case that they were the best team in the league. Uh, and then the wheels just kind of, then it kind of backtracked, and then we get to the our fourth team in the AFC East, the Jets. They're just roster's not there yet. I don't believe in Zach Wilson or Joe Flacco. Um, I like their coaching staff. I like some of their weapons. I like Elijah Moore. Um, I like Bryce Love. I just the vision's still too good, and they're just not there yet. I don't think they have the quarterback answer. I mean, I've told you guys before when you rank teams, the most important position is the quarterback position. So when you rank teams, I mean, they got the fourth worst quarterback in this division. So naturally, they're probably going to be the fourth worst team in this division. And he really, we don't know about the Dolphins coaching staff. I like all these coaching staffs. Really, I like from top to bottom. How can Bill Belichick's obviously number one in the coaching staff range here, but Buffalo's had Sean McDermott's been there for a while, has had a lot of success. We'll see what the McDaniel will do down in Miami, but he's had success where he's went, and he's part of the that growing Kyle Shanahan tree. So, which is how had a lot of those guys have had success. So but to recap here, I like Buffalo 1, Jets 2, Patriots 3, Jets 4. So that's pretty much wraps up our NFL news. NBA news, there's not a whole lot happening. I did see yesterday that the tires may be starting to get kicked back up on a Donovan Mitchell to New York trade. We'll see. We talked about that early on a few earlier episodes. I mean, the Jazz are just going to have to come down on some of their demands. I don't think they're going to try to They're trying to bamboozle the Knicks. I mean, they got 4 firsts for Rudy Gobert, but so they think that reset the market. Well, the problem is Minnesota was just stupid and did that trade. I don't think that's what's going to happen with the Knicks. They're trying to play it smarter, trying to make sure, hey, if we bring in Donovan Mitchell, that we still have enough players to compete and for the future, because we're not going to give up 6 firsts and half our roster for Donovan Mitchell. Uh, you know, just like the Timberwolves should have never made that trade for Rudy Gobert. But hey, more power to the Jazz. I mean, it looks like right now, and I've stated KD's probably going to start a net, and I probably right now would lean more towards that Donovan's probably going to start the season as the Utah Jazz as we get closer. I mean, they just put out a little bit of the schedule. I'm not going to get into that because I don't think anybody cares what the schedule is. If you do care, well, look it up. Once that season gets ready to start, we'll break down some predictions of teams and things like that, just as we're doing in our NFL. So we get to baseball here. The only big news right now: Fernando Tatis suspended rest of the year, 80 games. As he was trying, I never did see what the substance was. I was gone all weekend, but suspended 80 games, tested positive for some substance. Maybe somebody in the chat wants to let me know. And then, but he's suspended, and that's a big blow to the Padres right now because they were expecting him to come back. Obviously, they made the trade for Soto. And the Padres right now, they are a game and a half back of Philly. So, of Philly. So, or that second wild card. So maybe, I mean, you have Tatis there. You give him the edge, and I still think that team's more talented than the Phillies. So I probably will take the Padres to figure it out. But I mean, if they don't make the playoffs, I think their manager's probably seeing the boot, and they'll be looking for somebody different next year. Also, in other news, the Braves extended Michael Harris to an 8-year, $72 million deal to kind of keep their young core together. I mean, take notes, Chicago Cubs. Take notes, because the Atlanta Braves are keeping their young core together and extending guys. You should have done the same, but I digress. I'm not going to try to get my blood boiling first thing in the morning here. I mean, Braves are obviously going to win that first wild card up. They're 7.5 up on that team. If you missed it last week, we did our post trade deadline power rankings. End of the month, we'll do our final power rankings going into the final month of the season. So stay tuned for that. That pretty much sums up like all the major news in the world. We'll get to our UFC news in case you missed it. Like I said at the top of the show, head kicks and haymakers. This past Sunday, Kenny and Craig did a heck of a job filling in for me. Oh, Craig did say, yeah, I can't even say that word. Is the substance. Tatis claims it's from ringworm medicine. So, I don't even know what that word is. It almost looks like cholesterol, but I know that's not it. So that'll be interesting to. So he's saying he got it from ringworm, and I seen his dad come out, and I seen David Ortiz kind of come out and defend him. So that's kind of interesting. His dad said, everybody loses out here. Tatis, that was Tatis Senior. Big Papi Ortiz had come out and said something, kind of defending him, how baseball needed to change some things. However, they presented some stuff. I don't know. I mean, 80 games for one of the game's best young players. Now we'll never see him the rest of the season. I mean, he'll miss a whole season. I mean, he's been hurt, so why not? I mean, I'm not saying like it could be a bust in disguise. He comes back 100% healthy next year. He'll have to miss some games next year. I don't think all of it will be done served at the end of this year, so he might have to miss a few games going into next year. But big miss for the Padres. Big miss really for baseball because I think everybody was excited to see that young core play, especially competing in that postseason. So, like I was talking earlier, getting into our UFC here, big win on Saturday night for Cheeto Vera. Cheeto, huge knockout of Dominic Cruz. So Cheeto, there's like a Grand Prix here in the bantamweight division almost, where all these guys, top guys, are fighting in the next month or so. Cheeto might have well just kicked his way into a title shot, depending on how things fall. Depending on, he would need, to me, Cheeto, he would need Jan to beat O'Malley and Sterling to retain against Dillashaw, and then he could definitely, he would definitely have that case then at that point in time to be, and maybe yeah, I mean at that point in time, I think he would be the title, could make a case for the title shot. He has the highlights, the knockouts. Fans are behind Cheeto right now, so I think he might have knocked himself into a title shot, or he's going to be one fight away. So Kenny said, I think they'll make him go through the Yan if in that case, and that's possible. Um, I just don't think. I just think that he could make a case. I mean, they all have a case. Everybody will have a case. Um, Kenny said knockouts over old dudes not beating anyone. The top wasn't Rob Font number 5 when he beat him. What Rob Font was like 5 or 6. So uh, he's either one fight away or he'll make a case. I mean, it'll be interesting to see what happens. And it just all depends on what happens here at the end of these, like this little Grand Prix tournament that UFC is putting on for these bantamweights. But big win for Cheeto. The fight of the night was Nate the Train Landmeyer. Holy smokes, that guy put him and Omana put on a heck of a show. Nate the Train cut a heck of a promo afterwards. It was a great fight. This Saturday, UFC 278, like I just talked about, Head Kicks and Haymakers will do a preview show on that Saturday at 7 a.m. Central Time Zone. So join us. We'll be breaking down that card. Kamaru Usman. Some people want to say he's the GOAT right now of the welterweights. I won't say that. I still think it's GSP. But the pound for pound champ right now is making his return in Kamaru Usman, taking on Leon Edwards. This is the first time in UFC history where two fighters have 10 wins, 10 consecutive victories going at each other. That's right. So Usman's on a 10-fight winning streak. Leon's on a 10-plus fight winning streak. This is the first time two 10-plus fight winning streak fighters are fighting each other, folks. Something's got to give. This is a rematch. Leon hasn't lost since way back in 2015 when his first fight was against Kamaru Usman, and he's been winning since. We'll talk about that fight, plus Luke Rockhold, Kenny's favorite fighter, Pablo Costa's on that card, so I'm sure he'll have a lot to say about Pablo and everybody else. Who else is big Jose Aldo, the veteran Jose Aldo taking on Marab. That fight, Jose wins that fight, he could make a case for the bantamweight title shot. So this card's pretty going to be intriguing. We'll break it all down on Saturday, and then Sunday we'll have our UFC 278 post show. So make sure you tune in for that. We'll get to these comments real quick. Kenny's adding some comments. He said he can make a case, sure, but he should still be one fight away. The host, I will be back in the business on Saturday, and then Kenny's giving you a nice little preview of what he's going to talk about. He thinks Leon's going to get destroyed. I don't know. We'll debate that on Saturday, Kenny. I might be, might be leaning on the Rocky side. We'll see. Picks will be official on Saturday. We'll also do our pick 'em on ESPN. I'll put that out on my socials so you can join us. And then on Sunday, if you beat us, we'll give you a nice little shout out. The belt will be up for grabs. If you ever watch Head Kicks and Haymakers, we make picks. Title is on a line. Right now, Craig is the 2-time consecutive champ. Me and Kenny are coming for that belt. I've never won it. I got a feeling this is my time. The champ will grab that title and become champ on Saturday night. So we'll see. Congratulations. Before we get out of here, I got to say a couple congratulations. Congratulations to Ray Hayes. Huge knockout with on Saturday, becoming 2-time double champ. Remember, I called it. I said he's going to be 2-time double. He's going to be double champ. Owns a belt at lightweight and now owns a belt at featherweight. So congratulations to Ray Hayes, all the guys at Parabellum. From what I've been told is they cleaned house over there this past weekend. And best of luck to my boy Colton Carmack making his professional debut this Sunday as well. We'll give him another shout out probably a few more times throughout the week, but best of luck as he gets ready to fight this Sunday for making his professional debut. So we wish the best of luck to Colton. Was one of our very first guests here on this show. I think that's it, folks. So Kenny's chancing in here for me. Thanks, Kenny. Kenny was on the watching those boys for me. Chance Carmack, Zena Thompson, Austin Hayes, Ray Hayes. Huge night at Shamrock, 359. That was all the people at Parabellum that took home massive wins, went in there, like champs and handle business. If you're not following them guys on Facebook, you can look at them on Facebook and say, hey, man, they are training some massive killers, young killers up in this gym in St. Robert, Missouri. We're proud to be associated with them, proud to have a lot of those guys come on our show and be able to talk with them before their fights and after their fights. We will have Ray back on, probably not this weekend, but next weekend. I'm going to try to get him and Colton both back on, talk about their fights, probably do it a little bit together because Colton coaches Ray and Ray's going down to see Colton. So I'd like to get both point of views on how their fights went, but best of luck to both of them. Before we get out of here again, make sure you guys are liking, subscribing. Let's Talk Sports. Check over at Tanner and the boys at Sports Buffoons as well. Like, comment, share. Be a friend, tell a friend. We're also on Apple iTunes, Spotify. Also now, folks, we're on Roku TV channel. That's right, and Amazon channel. I don't know how it works for Amazon channel, but Roku, just go up to the search. Don't go to like Roku channels, just go to Roku. And then click Let's Talk Sports, and then you'll find the channel. Boom, there we are. High definition, looking good, looking fresh. But you can always catch us live right here. So make sure you hit the little bell, get it notified. Share, be a friend, tell a friend, share with a friend. I'm going to hit that outro, folks. It's been a pleasure getting back on here with you this morning, fighting through the little bit of what sickness I got left. Should be hopefully back to 100% healthy on Saturday when I'm back with the boys on Head Kicks and Haymakers. And we'll catch you later, folks. You guys have the rest of the blessed week.